Joshua, so the NDC produced an audio to back their demand. What more can you share with me in this particular audio?
Well, I think it would just be ideal to also just refresh our viewers, the memories or the minds of our viewers on how we got here. Because if you remember, it's exactly a week today, Tuesday, when the third accused person, Richard Jakpa, ended his evidence in chief in court exactly a week today. And then that is what subsequently led to the court also ordering the counsel, the lead counsel lawyers of Dr. Attoforsen to also start with their cross-examination. And it was during that period when revelations were made where the third accused person, Richard Jakpa, mentioned that he wanted to be actually detailed and entered into the archives or the books of the courts, that he has some materials that he would want to tender. That is what led to the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sammy Jemfi, coming out to address the press on some alleged engagement by the Attorney General with relative to the third accused person's testimony, which is to allegedly coerce him to also now skew his testimony in favor of the state to prosecute Dr. Attoforsen, who was then the former Deputy Finance Minister. That very day, which was on the 23rd of May, the Office of the Attorney General had to now issue a statement and, of course, debunk some of the allegations that were made. If you look at the paragraph 2 to 3 of their statement, they indicated that the Office of the the Office of the Attorney General, including any officers within that particular office, including the Attorney General himself, have not met or engaged any of the accused persons in this particular issue. That was the genesis of the whole thing. And the NDC started to now pick on that. And then today, they held their press conference and decided that they have certain audio tapes at their disposal, allegedly between Attorney General, who is also the Minister for Justice, and the third accused persons, and a sitting Supreme Court judge on this particular matter. The essence of the audio, which was just about 16 minutes and 5 seconds, was recorded on the 9th of April 2024, today, allegedly between the third accused person, Richard Jakpa, and the Attorney General, that is Godfred Yeboah-Dame. Where if you listen to the audio tape, which was actually played during the presentation, it suggests or presupposes allegedly that the Attorney General was in a bid trying to convince the third accused person, allegedly, to skew his testimony in favor of the state, so that the state can have the upper hand to prosecute the Deputy Finance Minister, the then Deputy Finance Minister, and now the Minority Leader, Dr. Attoforsen. And it all has to do with the procurement of the ambulances, which we are looking at now. If you listen to the audio tape, you realize that allegedly the said person, that is in this case, the Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, was trying to convince the third accused person, Richard Jakpa, to go by his line of the story, so that it will make things less easier, if not difficult, for him in the court, which is per the procurement plan and the agreement, that is to procure these ambulances. They were supposed to come in tranches, 50, 50, 50 out of the entire 200. And because of the agreement purposes and also for the state benefit, there was a condition precedence. The condition precedence was set by an LC, which is a letter of credit.
That's right.
The letter of credit was supposed to serve as a security for the state.
That's what it does.
Exactly. For the one procuring the ambulances, so that there will not be any advance payment. What is going to be is that from the point of origin where they are going to now transport the ambulances, the LC was going to be as the payment. By this time around, on paper, it's an agreement. So once you send in the ambulances, you can now take the LC to the Ghana International Bank, so that they can now waive and then bring you your payment. But in this case, the third accused person is saying that that is not what the exact story is all about. The LC, which per the audio tape, allegedly, the Attorney General doesn't want that to be included as the condition precedence, should actually be shelved.
Should I bring you into the court and try to find out how is the NDC, through Johnson Asiedu Nketia, now trying to use this audio or its evidence to say, look, arrest the Attorney General?
Now, following last week, Thursday and Tuesday's incident that happened, the trial that we saw. I mean, today ends the cross-examination trial. The NDC made some revelations in court, and then, of course, their third accused person also made some revelations in court, which the party, that is the opposition NDC, realized that it is not the way the Attorney General is supposed to conduct himself. It goes contrary to the ethics and conduct of a lawyer, and also it also contravenes the Rule 2020 of LI 2428. And of course, if you look at the criminal code, also section 213, 214, it is not supposed to be that case.
Let me find out from you. So you listen to the audio. Within 30 seconds, can you share with me how worrying to you from your analysis with this audio you listened to?
Right. So maybe a quick one just before I go there, just to make some corrections there. That the lawyers of Dr. Kesela Toforson were supposed to conclude their cross-examination today, which they started on last week Tuesday, where they demanded 6 hours, 2 hours for each examination. Today was supposed to be the last one, but they didn't get to do that. Now, coming back to the substantive issue, what we realized, or what I realized from the audio, was that it sounded as though the audio at some point was rushed. So what one would describe, or some would describe it as doctored, but that would have to be determined by forensic auditing.
That is wholly your opinion after listening to it? After
listening to it. So it would have to be subjected to forensic auditing to find out whether it's the actual complete tape or it's an abridged one that was supposed to be for the purpose of presentation. But it's very worrying, as lawyer Dankwa made mention, that if an issue is in court and we have political parties also trying to now throw in their own concerns and thoughts on this particular matter, we leave the public to have a certain opinion. And then when the court also now decides to also pass their ruling or judgment on the case, it could also now give the credits to the court or create an issue or some form of disaffection, depending on who's sitting on the political color and all of that. But the audio that we had, I'm only suspecting or hoping that it would actually play out in a certain way, that it wouldn't be the NDC in controlling the narrative, or the both political parties, whether MPP or NDC, both controlling the narrative, but the court should be allowed to carry out with its own duties.
Exactly. The thoughts of lawyer Dankwa. So Joshua, thank you very much for your thoughts on this one.